4 Arizona Cardinals who have to have a successful season for the Cardinals to have a successful season, okay?
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do this.
Okay.
I'll tell you, this exercise showed me one thing. They've done a good job, at least on paper. And this has to play out, but on paper, of backing a lot of guys up or building some depth. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of players that I was going to put on this list, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but if this guy struggles, they do have another guy in place that they're at least, like, I was going to have B.J. Ojulari on this list. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't play well this season, they're probably not going very far. But they do have Darius Robinson and some other guys. There's other options.
Yes.
So to come up with the top 4 who, like, if these guys struggle, then the Cardinals are going to struggle. That was a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Basinonians, think of a square right now. A square.
One square.
Think of the square. Do you think the square was the building block, literally, of human civilization?
Possibly.
It's you better believe that it is. It was a brick.
It's a lot better than a rhombus.
It started with 1, and then there was 2, and then there was 3. It literally is a building block right now. So this little exercise that we're going to endeavor in is going to be called Speak Your Square, bruh. Speak your square, bruh. Okay?
Bruh, also a building block.
That's what it's going to be right
of
there.
civilization.
Who are the 4 players who cannot fail for the Arizona Cardinals this season if they're going to have a chance?
I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I'm ready to go if you are. You ready?
Okay, I am ready.
Okay.
Luke, I want you to start first.
Okay, I'm going to go number 4. We're counting up, right?
Your first line. Who's number 1? Who's your line 1?
Wait, so is this the most important one or the least of the 4?
No, you have to figure that out, bro.
Oh, boy, I don't even know.
I mean, you get to do whatever you want to do. You want to make a splash with line 1 as you're drawing your square?
This guy always makes a splash. This isn't my most important one, but he's on my top 4. Kaiser White.
Ooh, okay. Kaiser White. That's a good one. Why do you say that?
The difference in that defense last season when Kaiser White was out there as opposed to when he wasn't out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have Budda Baker on my list because I almost feel like that's just a given. Like, if Budda Baker's not playing, it's not even the Cardinals.
No doubt about it.
So, but Kaiser White I have out there because he's at the center of the defense. And yeah, I mean, you could make the case, okay, if he misses a couple games, maybe Mack Wilson does a little bit more. Something's missing when he's not out there. And his familiarity with Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis and their familiarity with him and their trust in him, that was very evident when he was playing last season. So I think they have to have Kaiser White healthy and playing.
Okay, so I'm figuratively drawing the square, Basinonians, and my line 1 is Kyler Murray. It starts with 1, literally and figuratively, and every other way you can possibly imagine. It starts with 1. Kyler Murray has got to continue to develop in this offense personally and then evolve the offense collectively. It starts with 1, and that's my line 1, Kyler Murray.
I'm not going to argue with that. Number 3 for me, Trey McBride. He's another one I don't know that you can really replace him.
You went to number 3.
Well, I'm counting up.
Oh, okay.
I'm building, but I want the one that closes off my square to be the big number 1.
Okay, it was supposed to be line 2, though. You're drawing a square.
All right, well, the number...
You're speaking it, but you're drawing it metaphorically speaking.
Line number 2.
Okay, line number 2. Okay. See, you drew line 1.
Yes, line 1.
Line 2
is now Kaiser White because I can't change it, and line 2 is Trey McBride. Okay. I just don't know that they really have anybody that can replace what Trey McBride does. I'm looking at this, like, I don't think there's a way Trey McBride wouldn't be good. But I'm saying, like, if he's missing a few games, what are they going to do? And, look, yeah, you got Tip Ryman. Would you not agree you like having Tip Ryman to do Tip Ryman things while Trey McBride does Trey McBride things?
Yes.
So if Trey McBride's not there, I think the offense, not that it becomes one-dimensional, because you do still have the running game and Marvin Harrison Jr., and I think some serviceable receivers behind him, but it doesn't become nearly as dangerous if he's missing, I would say.
Okay, my line number 2, Basinonians, is James Conner. It's James Conner. If James Conner cannot run the ball like he did in 2023, the Cardinals offense is going to have a hard time moving the ball and scoring points. Conner can run the ball exceptionally well, as we all know, but he also can catch the ball coming out of the backfield. He needs to be all that, and he needs to be the second line of my square. And he is.
See, he was one of those guys I struggled with because if you're asking me who the most important players on the Cardinals are, he's in the top 3. But if he had to miss a couple games, I'm hoping Trey Benson could step in.
I like your
and
logic on that. I do. And I'm questioning my pick for line 2 because of it.
No, I think this is good. We're approaching this from different directions.
Because what you just said right there.
My second pick, third line, I don't know where this is, but very important. I would say second most important is, and I'm guessing he will be on your list too. I don't know, maybe not. Paris Johnson Jr. Because if Paris Johnson Jr. struggles this season, and again, I don't think he will. I mean, the best part about the guys I have on my list, the first 3, I feel pretty confident in Kaiser White, Trey McBride. And I would say maybe not as confident in Paris Johnson Jr. just because I haven't seen him do it yet consistently. I mean, he's played 1 season in the league, although he played every snap and he was pretty good. But if he struggles, it really just messes everything up. And I'm not saying the season ends, but man, you think, what are you moving Jonah Williams over? Are you putting somebody else right to what would that even look like? So Paris Johnson Jr.'s got to be part of the square.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He is part of the square.
Yeah,
okay, but he's gonna be line number 3.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna go with. Line number 3, Paris Johnson Jr. for everything Luke Lipinski just said right there. I'm gonna go line number 3, Paris Johnson Jr. Makes 100% sense. They cannot have that fail. Again, yes, you could take Jonah Williams and you could throw him over there if Paris Johnson Jr. cannot play left tackle. I don't think that's going to be the case, but that could set off a problem on the offensive line.
It's not a good chain reaction.
You don't want any problems on the offensive line. So I'm going with Paris Johnson Jr. as well for line 3.
We could just isolate the sentence you just said, and that could summarize the whole season for every team. You don't want any problems on your offensive line.
Just don't want it.
All right, and then to complete my square, it's obviously Kyler Murray.
Who makes it a square?
That's pretty.
That last line is who makes it a square.
That's pretty. I think the reasoning there is obvious. You already gave a lot of the reasoning. If they're going to succeed, Kyler's got to be playing. I would say at least 15 of the 17 games, ideally 17 of the 17, and playing at a very high level for them to be a playoff team, which to me would be a success this season, making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I went a little unconventional here, Basonians.
Matt Prater.
Who makes it a square? No, Kaiser White.
Oh, we had 3 of the same 4.
How about that? Kaiser White for me right now. He cannot foul, Basonians. He makes it a square. That 4th line makes it a square, and squares are good when you're building a football team. If the Cardinals cannot stop the run, the entire season could fall apart. The entire season. If they can't stop the run, it will set off a chain reaction of doom, as I have said before. Listen to this right now, wherever you may be, Basonians. This is the chain reaction that I'm talking about. You can't stop the run, teams score points. You think that's important right there?
Not great.
I realize it's a little abstract what I'm saying. What do you mean, Wolf? You can't stop the run, they're going to score points. Well, teams that score points get leads in games, correct? Yes. The team that has a lead stays in their offense. The team that is behind gets one-dimensional. Being one-dimensional works against the Arizona Cardinals offense. When your offense is one-dimensional, you don't score a lot of points unless you're Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, period. And when you don't score a lot of points, you lose games. Kaiser White has to lead this team in tackles, just like he was doing last year before he got hurt. He's got to be that guy. Hammer time inside the box. If the Cardinals can't stop the run, metaphorically speaking, literally speaking, it will set off a chain reaction that is going to make it really, really hard to win games. It's a big deal.
I'm having a really old school hip hop moment because every time you say "Can't Stop the Run," I think "Can't Stop the Rain" by Shaq. And then you said Hammer Time.
Wow.
So you really, I don't know where I am now. We're just going to go to break. But how about this?
How about his pants, man? Just knock it off.
What if we all walked in here wearing Hammer pants?
People were walking around in the Hammer pants.
What if we all showed up to Cardinals training camp tomorrow dressed like that?
Stop.
I thought when I said Kaiser White.
Honestly, right now, I wouldn't wear them around.
You can't stop it. Block it. When I drop
You wouldn't wear them where? Around the compound? Is that what you said?
No, if somebody told me that I had to walk out publicly, you couldn't pay me enough. I'm not doing it.
All right, that's
With
$500,000.
your hammer pants on. It's brutal.
We all just walk in with hammer pants and sunglasses in unison tomorrow.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.